Hi, this is John with Remodeling Wizards of Maryland, and I'm here today to give you some tips on how to maintain your HVAC system, in particular how to keep your condensate line clear. The condensate line is a pipe that comes from the air handler. An air handler is the unit that blows the air throughout your house. It comes from the air handler and it takes all the humidity out of the home, and it's supposed to bring it outside. If for some reason that pipe gets clogged or backed up, next thing you know, either the air conditioner just shuts off because it has an automatic shut off, or if it doesn't have a shut off, what will happen is that the water will back up into the system. And if this air handler, let's say, is up in your attic, you'll notice a stain up in your ceiling, and you're going to wonder, is my roof leaking? And what we find most of the time in a situation like this is it's not the roof at all. It's that you have not maintained your condensate line. So let me show you the simple way of doing it. First thing you want to do, this is your air handler here. Let's shut the air handler off before we start working with it. Air handler is shut off. You can either shut it off right here at this breaker, or you can go to your thermostat and you can put the unit on off. Take a look down here. These white pipes that you see, they're behind this black pipe, but there's a white pipe back here. This is the drain line. So the moisture goes down into a pan, it comes through this pipe, and it works its way all the way back out of the house and hopefully out into the yard somewhere. Now, how are we going to clean this out? First thing you want to do, you want to look for a vent pipe, something like this one. Now these pipes, you can typically just twist them and they come off. Hopefully it's not glued. Sometimes this piece might be glued in place and the cap comes off. Once we do that, a real simple solution is just to go get some white vinegar at the supermarket. This will cost you a couple dollars for a gallon, and you want to pour into this hole. You might need a funnel. I don't have one, obviously, so I'm going to be real careful. You're going to pour in here about 1 cup, 1/2 to 1 cup of vinegar. I'm pouring it in, pouring it in. Now remember, this is not, you're not baking a cake. It's not an exact recipe, but you know, if you're conscientious about it, get a measuring cup. And I would say to pour it, I like to pour about a cup in there. I'm going to now let that sit for about 30 minutes. And then once it sits for 30 minutes, it gives us a chance to dissolve and to kill some of the bacteria that might be built up in your condensate line. Once you set it there for 30 minutes, I'm going to take another, this is an empty container. I'm going to fill this with hot water from the tap, and then I'm going to pour that into the system, and I'm going to let it drain through so it cleans out and clears out the vinegar and anything the vinegar might have dissolved. And then the next step is I'm going to come back to my air handler breaker, flip the switch, system goes on, everything should work well. The other thing, last thing I want to show you, there are some chemicals you can buy if you don't want to use vinegar. I do think vinegar works pretty well. But here's something I picked up over at Lowe's. They also sell this at Home Depot. I've used this product. You would pour this whole container into the pipe, and this actually works very well. You do it the same exact way you do with vinegar. Shut the system off, pour it into the condensate, let it sit for 30 minutes, come back with about a gallon of hot water, flush the system. Thanks for listening.